Nope, you should be good.
I am good. Go to live stream.
All right, we are back here as we have the Utah Jazz 4 seed facing off against the Oklahoma City Thunder 5 seed. We'll be in Utah tonight for Game 1 of the NBA 2K Sim playoffs. As you just saw live at 9 o'clock, the Brooklyn Nets upset the Toronto Raptors in the first game of the series. What do you think are the keys to this one, big game?
Well, I think for Oklahoma City, they are a real grit and grind team. Nobody really expected them at the start of the year to be here after trading away Paul George and Russell Westbrook. But Chris Paul has led this team with great leadership and clutch points. Obviously, the Thunder lead the league in clutch points this season, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander also a up and coming star has the opportunity to really thrive in this series. For Utah, I think you got to really feed Rudy Gobert with Steven Adams on him. I mean, those are two big bodies down low, but I think I'd give the edge to Rudy Gobert. And the real person for Utah for them to win games is going to be Donovan Mitchell. You know, Donovan Mitchell is some say he's a superstar, but from what I see out of Donovan Mitchell is he has too many quiet games to be a superstar. So he needs to come out and have a vicious series here and beat the Thunder and we'll see if he can do that.
You know, especially with how great of a season Oklahoma City's been having, they weren't even expected to be in the playoffs, yet alone probably be a lottery team. For them to be here right now is just amazing. Anything, even winning, bringing this to 5 would be a win for them.
Bojan Bogdanovic, former Indiana Pacer, has been a great free agent ad for the Jazz.
In that one series against LeBron, when he was on the Pacers, he was performing very well for the Indiana Pacers, so he has a lot of great playoff experience.
That's true. And obviously, Utah, known for the Mormons, we will we will see how big of a factor the crowd plays into the series because Utah has had some problems in the past with some verbal altercations between fans and star players.
That is very true with Russell Westbrook issues in Utah, but we'll see how Chris Paul handles it as the star along with SGA. We're going to go over to our sideline reporter, R. Hayes, for a quick report. R. Hayes? Well, it looks like we're
Looks
having
like
some technical difficulties on the sideline report. He'll be back later, though, with a nice report.
And we are ready for tip-off in game one here in Utah. The 5-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder take on the 4-seeded Utah Jazz, and Rudy Gobert wins opening tip. Jazz start off with a Mike Conley.
Oh, great defense by Chris Paul right there.
Oh, and I pass ahead to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with a nice lay-in, and the Thunder start off 2-0 here in the first points of this series. Go to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Wow,
And
Chris
another
Paul is really
turnover.
heating up. That's 2 steals already, and he's going to take the layup in and score.
And two easy buckets for the Thunder to start off here in game one. And Utah, Quinn Snyder might need a quick timeout here to get his team a little unrattled because they are rattled right now.
This should be a great scoring matchup between Danilo Gallinari and Bojan Bogdanovic this year. Oh,
Oh,
Mike
Mike Conley with
Conley.
a deep three.
That's a great answer by Mike Conley, as he's also had a lot of playoff experience with the Memphis Grizzlies over the year, including many upsets.
Who missed that last shot for the Thunder?
I didn't say. Oh, and one. Bojan Bogdanovic. There we go.
And after being rattled at the start with back-to-back turnovers and two quick layups, The Jazz have responded very nicely here.
Chris Paul just keeps shooting those. He took a
And
fadeaway
questionable
last
mid-range
possession,
shot
and now
there.
he took one right in the face of Mike Conley.
Obviously, with the acquisition of Bogdanovich this offseason, you see Joe Ingles now comes off the bench for the Jazz, a very good 3-and-D player, and we'll see how he does off the bench
It's
here
a
in this
difficult
series.
change for Quinn Snyder, but he decided to start Royce O'Neal rather than Joe Ingles. But I think the change so far has done well for them.
Danilo Gallinari tries to drive in. Steven Adams down low as Bogdanovich on him. Kicks it back out to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who hooks up a three.
I
In
really
and
think
out.
if you're Steven Adams there, you got to take that layup, even if it's going to be contested, because you have a mismatch.
And a nice mid-range free throw line jumper there by Mike Conley, and he sinks it. Mike Conley, I believe, 2 for 2 to start this game with a deep three, and now a mid-range J, and a timeout by the Thunder, whose 4 points so far have come on 2 separate fast break layups on the first 2 possessions of the game after turnovers by the Jazz. The Jazz on a 10-0 run.
Now this is going to be one key loss for the Thunder this year. It's going to be tough for Steven Adams to score on our back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert. And as I
And a
say
lob by
that,
Chris
look at
Paul, and
that.
a nice finish, a nice right-handed up and underneath finish on the lob pass from CP3 there. Chris Paul, always known as a great passer.
If Chris Paul can get guys off double teams, that's going to be his key to finding Adams.
And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander reaches in on Rudy Gobert one too many times and picks up a quick foul. They say Joe Ingles has checked to the game for Royce O'Neal.
We'll probably see that change often, quick off the bench, as he's been acting more as their sixth man, but he usually plays a bit more minutes than Royce O'Neal. Oh, bad miss by
Steven
Adams,
Adams,
and
nice board.
swatted
And a
again.
block again.
But
And then a
Gallinari's there.
green by Gallinari. Down low, a nice layup there by Danilo. Mike Conley in the corner. And a steal by Gallinari.
They're taking it
Gallinari
slow
with plenty
here.
of this Thunder team does have quite a bit of playoff experience between Gallinari, Steven Adams, Chris Paul, and you could even add Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in there last year when he was on the Clippers playing against Golden State and stealing 2 games from Golden State as the 8th seed last year.
Yeah, I think that was one of the keys to the Thunder actually wanting to trade for him in that huge Paul George trade. After seeing how he performed in the playoffs, they knew he was a player that they wanted for the future.
Oh, nice defense by Terrence Ferguson there.
Chris
Here
Paul
comes
wide open in the
Alexander out
corner.
to 3.
Oh,
In and out. Rudy Gobert with another board.
can't make the 3 there.
Donovan Mitchell with the drive. Donovan Mitchell floater, no good. Board Steven Adams. I think something you will see in this series is Rudy Gobert and Steven Adams will both pick up quite a lot of rebounds because the rest of their teams are smaller with Chris Paul, smaller guard, Donovan Mitchell, a smaller shooting guard, and Rudy Gobert and Steven Adams are such big, bulky, strong big guys that it'll be hard to rip away any boards from those guys.
Great point there. And the Thunder have already came back down 6 with a 6-0 run of their own as the Jazz call a quick timeout. And it seems Ed Davis is coming in as well as Emile Mudiay. He's actually been looking great off the bench.
Well, and you forgot their great acquisition at the trade deadline. Jordan Clarkson from Cleveland has come in and played very well for this team.
Very true. He's been the scorer they needed off the bench. Good. It seems in this lineup here, Clarkson and Bogdanovich are going to be the keys. Oh, except there's a mismatch there. Dennis Schroeder playing against Ed Davis in the post. Questionable switch by the Thunder.
Nerlens Noel has checked on the game, as is Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder, a possible Sixth Man of the Year candidate for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, with the year he's had, especially with how well the Thunder performed, I think he easily has it won.
Darren Ferguson on the three, no good. Forward goes to Ed Davis. On a drive, Clarkson layup. The Jazz up 4 here, 14-10 with 20 seconds left in the first quarter.
Seems like they're going to hold the ball for one last shot. I'm guessing it'll be in Schroeder's hands for this shot, unless they can get someone open off a screen for three. And there it is, Diallo.
And they have Diallo. Miss. And the Jazz are up 4 here at the end of the first quarter in game 1 in Utah of this first round matchup.
And so far, this game's been the close series we've been expecting, as the Jazz are up 4. All right, Thunder ball to start the second quarter, and here we go.
The shooter brings up the ball. Takes it to Mike Muscala.
Oh,
with a
where
nice
did that spin move?
And drives
And
in.
one!
And gets the and one! Jordan Clarkson picks up his first foul as Mike Muscala with a beautiful spin move and drive to the hoop.
Let's watch this
and
one
finishes.
again.
Oh.
Even reaches back on that layup. Still makes it through the contact on Clarkson. What a shot.
Right-handed off the glass. Can he put down the free throw to complete the three-point play? He does. Jake, I would check your phone very quickly.
Well, as an announcer, we can check our
Well,
phone.
this is an emergency from our sideline reporter. R. Hayes has some breaking news he wants to break.
Oh, we better check in on this one.
Let's kick it down to R. Hayes here. R. Hayes, do you have any sideline reporting news?
Well, before the game, I had the chance to speak with head coach of the Utah Jazz, Quinn Snyder, and what his keys were to the Jazz upsetting Oklahoma City here in this first round. And he said that Donovan Mitchell is the key to this game. Their offense only goes as much as Donovan Mitchell goes. And last year, they didn't have a very good series against Houston, but in the one game they did pull out, Donovan Mitchell scored 31 points. Can Donovan Mitchell carry them to success? Guess we'll have to find out. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, R. Hayes.
As a great point there by R. Hayes as Donovan Mitchell is the key. Oh, and a lob for
my!
Noel. A two-handed finish for Noel cuts the lead to 1 for the Jazz. Nerlens Noel, a former top 3 pick by the 76ers, has jumped around the league quite a bit, but has found a home here in Oklahoma City off the bench behind Steven Adams.
Nerlens Noel has also looked great defensively so far. Oh,
and a foul there by Diallo.
Diallo's
Jordan
questioning
Clarkson.
the call, but it
Aggressive.
seems like it was pretty obvious contact there.
Yes, I'm sorry for laughing here. There's a fan with a funny joke behind me. Have to keep my composure as an announcer here. Jordan Clarkson did hit the first free throw.
I see there's some unruly fans behind you guys. What is going on over there?
Oh,
so
just
far on the
the
Mutombo
classic
Popeyes
Mormons.
stream. So far on the Mutombo Popeyes stream, we usually have a great comment section for all those watching the game outside of Utah. And we seem to have had some questionable comments on our sideline reporter. Great shot by Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder.
It's looking good so far.
Oh,
Jazz
only
shooting
down
58%,
wow.
but have only shot 12 shots. Pretty questionable on turnovers, that means.
I think if you're the Thunder, you're pretty happy with how this is turning out. Oh, Jordan Clarkson, tough runner, falls down, and now you have a fast break. Schroeder in a 1v2 takes it himself and misses.
That was a questionable 2v1 in that
Emmanuel
one.
Moutier with a nice board and defensive play. Oh, and he takes it himself all the way to the hoop and misses. And a board for Noel.
Oh, Diallo taking a lefty hook over two guys. That's a questionable shot right there.
Well, I think if you're Utah here, you got to get the ball to Rudy Gobert down low with Mike Muscala on him. Mike Muscala, not a great defender, more of an offensive player. Oh, and there's Ed Davis with
He's passing up a
Dennis
possible
Schroeder
hook
on
shot.
him.
Yeah.
Oh, and a tough shot there. And there's
Oh,
a
but a
board for Ed
rebound.
Davis. Offensive
All
board.
right, he
Oh,
made up for
and
that.
a nice lefty put in over Dennis Schroeder.
He didn't take that hook shot before, but it seems he made up for it with the offensive rebound and the lefty hook. Thunder are calling timeout here as Utah's up by 3.
I'd just like to take a second to point out our Pizza Hut fan of the game, FPS Megaduck. You know, he's been a key supporter to the stream, and I really like to thank him for tuning in tonight.
Thanks for that comment, R. Hayes.
And during that comment, Donovan Mitchell picked up a foul out of the timeout. Steven Adams playing point guard here.
Oh, what's going on here?
And a deep
and he
he
hits the jumper. What is happening?
Not known as a jump shooter, drains a almost three-pointer, about it was like a 20-footer. How about that?
Steven Adams been waiting the whole time to bring out that one all year, maybe even his whole career.
As R. Hayes, you may need to be putting power outage in
a deep three
on stream due to some very vulgar language towards Make-A-Wish, as that's a great foundation. We do not need to be making fun of them here.
Chris Paul misses that big shot.
The Jazz are running again. Here comes Mitchell. Step back, Jay.
There it
got
is.
It.
Mitchell finally makes a shot after decent amount of misses in the first quarter.
The Jazz are up 6 here with about a minute 25 left in the second quarter. TP3, let's step back. Oh, Rudy Gobert got a piece of that. That's a block. And they're on the fast break. Here comes Mitchell. Oh, a nice blow by. And got it to go. Mitchell.
Here comes Mitchell in the second quarter.
Jay Gilgeous-Alexander back in the game.
We'd like to let the chat know we got to calm it down with the comments.
Gallinari down low. A nice turnaround jumper. I believe that was over Bogdanovic, and it was. Danilo Gallinari, always known as a great scorer. As a power forward, small forward, whatever you want to call him.
Now, if you're Thunder in the offseason, do you think you're going to extend Danilo Gallinari? As you're not going to have as great of a draft pick as you thought with many draft picks they received from Paul George. And Danilo Gallinari has been someone who's moved around recently, but do you think they're going to sign him to at least a 2 or 3 year extension offseason, big game?
Well, with how they've done this year, I would say yes. And I know I've seen reports that, as Gilgeous-Alexander throws down a nice one-handed tomahawk dunk off the Steven Adams pass. From what I've heard, Danilo Gallinari is open to an extension with the Thunder. And you see how I think he has more of an open role than he ever has. He can shoot whenever he wants. He has a great point guard in Chris Paul, which he did have in with LA when they were with the Clippers. And obviously he was on Denver a few years ago, and he's jumped around. He's never really had a home. And I think Oklahoma City would be a great home for him. Obviously, they have to pay Chris Paul a lot of money, but you look at the young guys they have, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Dort. A lot of these guys don't have to be paid for a couple years. Steven Adams, they have a big contract to pay, and Dennis Schroeder is a free agent in years to come. But I think they have a little bit of money they can pay out, especially getting Paul George and Westbrook off the books with their money, although they were superstars. I mean, they got a ton of draft picks out of it, and I would not be surprised if he does resign.
That's a great point there, big game. But as we go into halftime, how do you think this game is going to pan out in the second half? As the Jazz are up by 4, however, their field goal percentage might be a bit deceiving so far, as they've shot actually less times than OKC with a lot of turnovers.
Well, I would say that that 10% differential in shooting is a pretty bad sign if you're the Jazz only up 4. But looking at it, the rebounding and assist totals, if the Jazz stay ahead in both of those categories, I think you're looking at a pretty good finish here for the Jazz. Because obviously two of the 3 steals for the Thunder came on the first 2 possessions of the game when the Jazz turned it over back-to-back times, and the Thunder got up to a 4-0 start. So I think we'll see a very high tempo game in the second half. I think you'll see a lot more of Rudy Gobert down low, and I think you're going to see plenty more of Chris Paul shooting the ball. But we'll see who comes on top here in Game 1 of this Western Conference Finals. Western Conference Game 1 of the semifinals. I don't even know what is this? Is this the
This is
no?
first
What is
round.
this? It's but it's called something, isn't it?
No, you just call it the first round.
Mm. Thank you, R. Hayes, for letting people know in the chat that
Western
discipline-
Conference first round.
Western Conference first round. Well, I know the semifinal was
The semifinals,
then
second round,
conference,
then conference,
and
semifinals.
conference. Yeah.
Great start for OKC here as Danilo Gallinari goes to the line.
And hits them both. Very good free throw shooter. Mike Conley gives it up to Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, starts
Mitchell
off with
with
a
a-
fadeaway 3.
Questionable fadeaway 3. And Shea Gilgeous-Alexander ties this game up. And a nice pass from Gallinari.
Now it seems our viewers who handed in their brackets seem to have picked this one about 50-50. Most of them actually going to 5 games. And this so far is coming out to be that type of close matchup in this series.
Our sideline reporter R. Hayes, we may need you to do some disciplining in the chat as we have a unruly fan who's really throwing out some outrageous comments. Steven Adams drives in here on Rudy Gobert, gives up to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander,
Oh,
who
there's
gets
a
blocked by
slot.
Rudy Gobert. The Thunder called yet another timeout.
All right, and here comes back OKC. Gobert's looking like he's hot to start the third quarter here with that quick block.
Well, I think a big man like him can get hot at any point, as there's a nice mid-range jumper from Gallinari yet again.
Gallinari seems to be the player of the game so far for OKC in this one. We'll see if he can continue that stretch.
I would have to agree. I mean, Gallinari, like I said before, is just known as a scorer. Oh, and followed there by Lucas Dort on.
And there's a miss on the
Jordan
first free
Clarkson.
throw. Oh, and you cannot go to the line and
misses
miss
them
both
both.
free throws there if you're Clarkson in a tie ball game.
And here comes. Oh, that was a nice finish. Who was that by? I believe that was Diallo, but I'm not sure if Diallo was even in.
That
was-
would be
it was
Diallo
Shea
on
Gil-
that
it
shot.
was-
That was a great.
It,
Oh,
you're right.
Noel
Yes,
with a great
it was.
defense
It was
there.
Diallo. I thought, and great defense on Rudy Gobert. And here come the Thunder. With a chance to extend their lead. Danilo again misses that time. Rudy with a nice board. See if Mike Conley can give the Jazz the lead or tie up the game on this possession. Little isolation here.
Seems like
Up
they're
to
going to trust
Bogdanovic.
Bogdanovic in a pick and roll here. Loses the
Oh,
ball.
almost loses it. Oh, but gets it back in a nice mid-range. Jay is missed. And that's going to be a foul on Rudy Gobert. Loose ball foul. Nerlens Noel goes down on the play.
Seems like we have a question for our announcer Big Game in the chat from our fan Coin Beetle.
Yeah, if only Coinbeal can make a little bit more sense in that question, I'd be able to answer it.
Oh, Gallinari throws it down. He is really
Oh
taking
my
over this
lord!
game in the
And
third quarter.
the Thunder have gone up 4 points here, and it's a
He's
4-point swing.
really trying to get the extension.
Here comes Clarkson with a nice mid-range J, and he misses. Nerlenston with another board.
You know, you really would have liked to see Donovan Mitchell take over this third quarter after a great end of the second quarter, but seems he hasn't had his jumper on in this game. The Thunder are on a 12-2 run in the past 3 minutes.
Oh, it's still swelling. It's still swelling.
We'll say it's okay. We'll say you're good. If the Jazz cannot get much going here, another terrible shot as the Thunder look to extend the lead yet again. Up 6,
Oh,
and here it is,
Danilo
an 8-point
again, and
lead.
he is taking
Danilo
over this
Gallinari
quarter.
is proving he is worth a lot of money this offseason, putting the Thunder up 8 here with 2 minutes, 15 seconds left in the third quarter, and a timeout by Quinn Snyder. He cannot be happy. Up 4 at half to down 8 here with 2 minutes left in the third quarter is not the kind of swing you want in the third quarter.
What do you think is going to have to take over here for Utah to make a comeback here?
No, I think Donovan Mitchell, he's got the ball in his hands now. He's going to have to score a little bit, and you might have to ask a little bit more of Bogdanovic.
Oh,
and
takes a questionable shot, but
Rudy
there's the
Gobert
key.
with a nice board, and he misses a nice layup.
Wow, we really appreciate that effort by Armand
Oh,
or
Rudy
Hayes
Gobert
for
gets
allowing
on the
that deal to
roll.
happen. Ooh, he's lucky to have made that first one on that roll.
Yes, he is not a great free throw shooter, Rudy Gobert. And Danilo again drives it in another score. Gallinari has to be up to about 9 or 10 points here in this third quarter.
Seems Jazz fans, after they were booing during the run, have finally started getting loud, cheering, "Let's go Jazz." Clarkson for 3.
Oh, Clarkson
He
3. And
big-
he rattles one home, cuts the lead to 6. A big 3 right there. Let's see if the Thunder get the ball back into Danilo Gallinari's hands as he has gone off this third quarter.
You'd really like to see a post up for a nice fadeaway for him. Seems like Nerlens Noel's going to take a 3.
And he's going to shoot a 3.
Oh.
Now that's off the mark.
We
We
saw
Steven
Steven
Adams pull that off early, but I don't know if Nerlens Noel has quite the range that Steven Adams does. There goes Mitchell driving in. A fadeaway.
Oh,
Can't get
Gobert
that
with
to
the
go, but Rudy
rebound.
Gobert with a board, and that's in. And it's cut down to 2 or 4. This lead is being slowly shredded down.
In the hands of Gallinari. He's been the hot
Gallinari
hand of
again.
the third quarter.
It looks like Gallinari's
Oh,
going to
and
take
he
this one
goes
himself,
right
and he
through the
does, and he
paint.
finishes. Wow. He is just cooking Joe Ingles right now. Here comes Jordan Clarkson down the lane, and that's a scoop layup and gets it to go. As you've seen, the scoring is definitely picked up here in this third quarter. And the shot clocks and game clocks are pretty close together, so I would assume that you'd see the Thunder hold for the last shot here in the third quarter, up 4.
Ferguson for 3. Can't make it there.
Oh, good. And that's the end of the third quarter. The Thunder outscored the Jazz by 8 that quarter, down 4 at halftime to now up 4 at the end of the third quarter.
You really
We'll
could
see
thank
if the Jazz
Danilo
can come back.
Gallinari for that one. And as we start the fourth quarter here, we're going to show the assist of the game. This was a
And
great
oh,
pass by
it's
Dennis
nice
Schroeder on the alley-oop
Farm
to
assist of the
Nerlens
game.
Noel. And now we go to our sideline reporter, R. Hayes, as he had some comments about the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Well, unfortunately, Big Jake, I really don't have anything to say, so back to you.
All right, thanks.
You should do a better job on your reporting, R. Hayes, because that is not what we signed you to do. But back to the game, we'll stay on track here. The Jazz have the ball here at the start of the fourth quarter, down 4.
As a
We'll see if
sideline
they can
reporter,
mount
I
a
can't
comeback
just be
and
thrown into the heat of action. You should know this.
Whoa, your time is off air now. Let's see what Joe.
Oh,
Joe
fade
Ingles with a
away.
choke on fade away.
Can't make that
No
one.
good. And Adams with the big board there. The bunch of bodies around the paint. Gets up to Shea Gillis-Alexander, who drives in. Foul. Oh, cannot get the bucket to go.
You
and
know,
he'll be shooting
SGA
two at
has
the
not
line.
really done much besides defensively in this ball game. He hasn't shown all his offense so far. But he makes both free throws there.
He hits both free throws to put the Thunder back up 6. Let's see who's going to step up here for the Jazz to try and cut this lead down and tie this game up.
Oh, whoa! They're throwing to
oh,
Conley,
oh,
but
but Rudy
apparently
Gobert gets a missed
What
lob
kind
to
of
Mike
play was
Conley.
that? A rare
ball
dunk attempt by
fumbles.
Mike Conley.
It fumbles into Rudy Gobert's hands, who throws it down with authority, a two-handed flush. And that could be a momentum breaker right there for the Jazz. The Thunder had him on the brink of elimination. Oh, and there's a tough shot by Gilgeous-Alexander, a board by Rudy Gobert.
Bogdanovich for
Bogdanovich at
mid-range.
D2. No.
Questionable shot
Chris
there.
Paul,
You'd
the
like to see him
rebound.
dribble in.
Mike Conley picks up a foul. His second of the game. As you see, Dort will come back in for Ferguson. And the Thunder going big here with Nerlens Noel and Steven Adams out on the court at the same time. We're going to get a download of Steven Adams here.
If he can make a shot over Gobert here, it'd be a huge shot. Oh, he's taking
Oh,
a
he's running out of
fadeaway.
time. A
Oh,
fadeaway.
almost-
Oh,
oh,
almost didn't
Noel,
out. And there's
rebound.
and Nerlens Noel, and that's where having two big guys out there on the court helps you. You take Rudy Gobert out of the play.
Big.
Oh, and here comes Bogdanovich. Was wide open for three there, but Mike Conley obviously did not see him. And now Rudy Gobert, is fouled by Nerlens Noel. Oh, and a turnover. Ingles throws it right to Steven Adams, who jumps the pass. And the Thunder on the fast break. Here goes Gilgeous-Alexander to the
Cannot
bucket.
finish
No
there,
good.
though. There's going to be a mismatch here as Mike Conley is on, or Steven Adams is on Mike Conley.
Oh, we are lagging back.
Bogdanovich cannot make the fadeaway mid-range right there. And Dort, the floater, and it is good.
Finishes.
The
Wow,
Thunder
the
are
Jazz
back up
call
8.
timeout.
But since we are
With
not yet under
3:25
3
left.
minutes, they actually do have over 2 timeouts.
Well, I'd say if you're Oklahoma City, you got to be pretty thrilled with this game so far. Danilo Gallinari has gone off. Alexander has not done much. Chris Paul has not done much. Yeah, I mean, Danilo Gallinari has really carried the load here for this team, and they're up 8 over the Jazz in Utah in Game 1. As you see the Thunder bring back in Danilo Gallinari for Nerlens Noel.
Going big there actually did help them a lot, though.
Oh, and
that'd be
goaltending.
goaltending. Seemed
Believe
like
that
that
ball
hook
was
shot
going
was
in
going
anyway.
in.
Yes.
All right, this is going to be a key stretch, I'd say, about until minute 30 or 2 minutes for the Jazz to see if they can make a comeback in this huge Game 1 at home, especially.
Well, and as we talked about at the start of this broadcast, Chris Paul leads the league in clutch scoring under 5 minutes in the fourth quarter this season, and right there puts another one in for his second bucket of the game, put him back up 8. We'll see if their clutch points continues to score. An illegal screen by Rudy Gobert, and that's going the other way.
That's a huge mistake there by Rudy Gobert. You can't be doing that under 3 minutes left in the game, especially in clutch time. We'll see if Chris Paul can try and pull this one away.
Opportunity here for the Thunder to go up double digits. Steven Adams down low and Rudy Gobert.
Will we see yet another jumper by Steven Adams? Oh no, we're gonna see a pass
another
off.
great pass to Gilgeous-Alexander, and yet another great pass from Steven Adams. That's his second or third one tonight we have seen. Donovan Mitchell with a tough shot,
Wow,
and
he
gets
makes
it to
that
fall.
one through a lot of contested.
Still some time here. A little over 2 minutes left. Down 8 for the Jazz at home. We'll see if they can crunch some stops together and put the ball in the bucket.
We're probably going to see the Thunder try and waste about all the 24-second shot clock. Oh, what a rebound.
a
That's going to
block
really
by
cut into some
Gobert.
time.
Chris Paul 3, no good. Chris Paul 0 for 2 on that possession.
Oh, great pass
Down
by
low,
Donovan Mitchell.
Cuts the lead to 6 here with a minute 49 left.
Seems like Jazz
Still
fans
a
are starting to
glimmer
get
of
on
hope.
their feet for some momentum here.
Chris Paul
Oh,
mid-range jumper,
my.
and that's pure.
What a great shot by Chris Paul. As you talked about his clutch points, he just continues there.
The Jazz continue to need points here. Need to get the ball in the bucket.
Mike
There's
Conley
Mike
wide
for
open.
3.
Can't finish
and
her,
that's
but
no good.
Gobert
But
again.
Rudy Gobert.
Oh,
And
misses
a
that
tough
hook
shot by Rudy Gobert.
Probably should have held that one or passed it back out.
And I think you'll see the smart Chris Paul take some time off the clock here. He gets it down to Lucas Dort, who puts up a hook shot. Whoa, a pretty quick trigger there by Lucas Dort. Mike Conley trying to drive in on Chris Paul with no success.
You know, you'd like to see it go to
Wasting a lot
Donovan
of clock.
Mitchell here as he's your star, but let's see if that gets up a pick and roll. Here we go.
He drives on Adams, puts himself in a tough spot, and the ball goes right to Steven Adams for the board. And with 45 seconds left in an 8-point game, I think you're going to see the Jazz fall at home in Game 1 as now here on day 1 of the play. Oh, and Steven Adams with a nice putback lay-in to put the Thunder up 10. You're going to see the 2 lower seeds so far here in the round 1, day 1 of this NBA 2K simulation playoff. The higher seeds have gone down in both games.
Yeah,
And
it's
Mitchell
been
with another missed layup.
you would have thought home court advantage would have been a key in these series, but both home teams have lost tonight. It's just dead silent in Utah right now. The crowd started getting it going when they were down 6, but it's dead quiet now.
And Gilgeous-Alexander with another quick bucket there, and I think you're going to see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander be the high scorer for the Thunder. As he started off pretty good in the middle of the game, kind of went dull, but here in the fourth quarter stepped up his game. Him and Chris Paul really took over and finished this game for the Thunder and lead them to a Game 1 victory.
I'd say Danilo Gallinari is probably a player of the game after that huge third quarter. That run when they were down by 4 built them a 8-point lead. Even when the Jazz tried to make a comeback, he made 2 quick buckets on the fast break, and then Chris Paul's clutch shot really ended this one. All right, now we have our post-game show analyzing our box score. And on the Jazz side, as you can see, no scores reached over 10 points, but it was a pretty even affair. Rudy Gobert's 11 rebounds led the team, but even with Donovan Mitchell's 9 points, you just felt like he wasn't really taking over this one on 4 for 12 shooting. What do you think, Big Game?
Well, I would agree. Again, you see in a losing affair here, as it was in Game 1 of the day between Brooklyn and Toronto. Nobody on Toronto scored over 10 points, and you see that again here with the Jazz. You see Donovan Mitchell, who's a starter, scored 9, and their next highest scorer, who also scored 9, was off the bench, and Jordan Clarkson. And I just can you scroll down for me so I can look at Rudy Gobert's stats? I'd like to see. Rudy Gobert had 7 points, 11 boards. I don't understand why you didn't give Rudy Gobert the ball a little bit more.
Especially with those 4 blocks. That's how he did what they needed to do, but only on 5 shots. Even Ed Davis off the bench made both of his shots. It seems like the center position is where they should have gone. Now over the OKC side, Danilo Gallinari, 16 points. That's unbelievable in a 6-minute quarter sim. That's really what you need out there, and SGA really stepped it up on fast break points. And Chris Paul, though he only had 6 points in that 3 of 10 shooting, if you weren't with us, you missed his 2 clutch shots to really take this game over in the fourth quarter with under 3 minutes to go.
Well, I think something you look at here that you see, you look at how well Danilo Gallinari and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander both shot, 7 of 10 and 5 of 9 from the field, both over double digits in points. And then you have your star and Chris Paul only put in 6 points, but as you said, his 2 late buckets were basically the sealers on this game. And Steven Adams puts in a 6 and 10. You can't ask much more out of him. You see, as I did say at the start of the game, Rudy Gobert with 11 boards and Steven Adams with 10 boards. I figured that they would both get their load of offensive boards.
All right, and now our final score here from Utah is 57 OKC to 45 Utah. Stay tuned, and we'll be taking a 5-minute break for our next game.